People are saying that expats should get together and form a coalition where they all together bring on a big lawsuit to the government. Morning everybody, Ecuador wannabes on your way to Ecuador and already living in Ecuador. Good morning everybody. Here's what I'm going to talk about today. You know, there's a lot going on at this time, summer 2017 in Ecuador. There's been a lot of changes here, but here's what I'm observing. Ecuador has had some major law changes at least a half a dozen times since we've been here 6 years, and that's an average of once per year. That's a once per year major law change in Ecuador. Now that's significant. You know, in my book, that's significant. And you know, you can make what you will with it. You know, some people are going to say it's good, some people are going to say it's not so good. But here's what I'm noticing. Ecuador, right? Everybody, the whole world should come to Ecuador. So then here's the thing that's I see happening is that a lot of people, some people are saying that expats should get together and form a coalition where they all together bring on a big lawsuit to the government. Now, when I hear things like this, you know, I've watched a lot of these kinds of lawsuits happen. This part of the video is going to be in the private section. Okay. And then when I'm done with the private section, I'm going to tell you that it's back out of the private section. Okay. But this is the private section part, and it's like this. Class action lawsuits. Is that what you had hoped, your hopes and your dreams of a better, more exciting retirement or whatever it is that people are looking to find with foreign retirement? Was that the way you thought that you would have want to spend your time, was to get involved in big lawsuits against the government? I mean, what I see is a lot of people are just voting with their feet, which is cheaper, quicker, and rewarding immediately. In other words, the solution is immediately something that you benefit from immediately. You will vote with your feet. And I'm just saying that's what a lot of people are doing. Look at that scenario and you compare it to what Panama did a handful of years ago, because I see these little countries with small populations, thanks to the RAM magazines, they get inundated with this very quick, large amount of traffic from foreigners, and it brings in a huge amount of capital. And it looks to me like they all go through the same responses. Panama did the same thing. They decided that they were only going to appeal to richer people. And so they upped all their thresholds. They upped the amount you had to show. They upped the amount of investments you had to have. You know, initially Panama, you only had to show, you know, $1,000 a month. And then they changed it to, you know, extravagant amounts. And you had to spend $300,000 on property. They went through all that. And you know what happened? People voted with their feet. What I praise about Panama is that they were quick at realizing it and changing and doing a turnaround. That's one thing I want to really give a hand to the people in charge in Panama, that they were able to be diligent and make an assessment quickly, and they did a quick turnaround and changed everything. And so then they just completely lowered the barriers where it's just easy for just about anybody to get residency in Panama. Now, of course, Panama has a lot of other issues, but when we're just talking about those kinds of issues, that's what I'm focusing on right now. So I'm saying all that to give you a clear picture of what's going on. And I see the same pattern evolving, but what we don't know see the pattern, right? Governments getting greedy and passing laws and requiring way more out of foreigners, more and more out of foreigners, right? That's the pattern. And then people voting with their feet and then leaving them holding the bag. And so then, but what we don't know is how will the government respond? And Panama responded well. They backed off. And will Ecuador back off? Maybe, maybe not, but that remains to be seen. The idea here is to give you an insight into these patterns so that you realize, what's actually happening, and to be able to talk about it. Because, it's important to talk about things as they are, not as we wish they would be.